Now, back to Did She Say That with Sonnie Johnson.
Welcome back to the podcast, and it's that time again for me to introduce one of my favorite people, the media mogul himself, JaVonni Brustow from Popglitz.com. What's up, Vonnie? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just finished my second double shot espresso. Are you ready?
Hey, I got 4 shots. I got four shots to your 2.
Wow.
Oh, if you had heard the first segment, then you will understand why I got 4 shots. But go ahead, let's go.
All right, I'd like to start with some good news. The rap mogul Sean Combs, Diddy, Puffy, whatever you like to call him, is opening his first charter school in Harlem. I'm a big proponent of school choice. I went to charter schools, magnet schools, and performing arts schools growing up, and I'm about 300% certain that they were better than the area public schools. When a charter school underperforms, they close them. One of the charter schools I went to had 4 principals in 4 years. I think the charter was eventually revoked, but had it been a public school, I'm certain they would have still been open.
Of course, and the teachers would have got raises to improve the performance. Look, this is one thing about people get pissed when I talk about Puffy, okay? I have never said that Puffy is a talented artist. Like I don't pretend any of that. But you can't say this man. I call him money. You know what I'm saying? That's what he is to me. He looks like money to me. He smells like money to me.
He made $700 million over his career. So yes, he is.
You know, so I don't care if you think he don't have a talent. Bitch, show me your talent to make money. Like I want you to play Big Bank Take Little Bank with Puffy. If you can win, then you had a right to say something about him. If you can't, then shut the fuck up. Okay, but here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought it up about the charter schools. And this is what conservatives fail to understand. And I'm going to talk about this later on in the show. Hip-hop is answering to you, and you refuse to listen to them. At some point, you're going to have to listen to them. If you want to save America, if you want things to change in this country, at some point, you're going to have to listen to them. So now you have hip-hop artists, and he's not the first, because Jay-Z also has a charter school in New York. So he's not the first. And Usher has one down in Atlanta, and I'm thinking someone else does, but I don't want to say that they do without me actually knowing it for certain. But these people are answering your call. When you say school choice, they're not marching with you, but they're opening charter school. You should start listening to them.
Absolutely. I mean, they're ran so much better. I mean, in DC, I want to say that the public school system is like number 47, 48. The buildings were crumbling. I mean, they recently started building some more, but it's so expensive. And they're like, we have these half utilized buildings, and they need all this work, and they, it takes money to keep the lights on, et cetera. It's just such a big deal to them. Like, these buildings have been crumbling for decades, and no one can ever figure out what happened. First charter school I went to, they got private funding. They opened in downtown DC in an office building, state-of-the-art building, without any trouble. They had no issues with funding anything that they needed done. We needed to go to the gym. Boom. Got a van, drove to the gym. We walked to the library. And they do this effortlessly. But yet the issues of the public schools have gone on forever. And it's like, it's just such a big deal. And then, every, once a quarter, we need another $1 billion for the system.
You had black groups like Black Lives Matter, and they're like on the side of the teachers unions. And then at the same time they're crying about it, they are saying that the teachers don't care about black kids. And like, this is my message to like the Black Lives Matter people. You can open Black Lives Matter Academy. Like you can do that.
And that's not a difficult thing to do. I was approached about starting a charter school when I was 21.
If you want an all-black school with all-black teachers and you want to teach them all about white privilege and white guilt and all of that stuff, you can do that.
And I guarantee you'd have no trouble with getting that financed either.
They would have to suffer the consequences, because when you put those children up against the children who went to school for technology and went to school for science and went to school for math. You're going to be held accountable for it.
This is your creation.
Exactly.
Oh, but no, it's just easier to, shout and scream and burn shit down.
Look, I'll leave that there. Go ahead. I'll leave that one right there. I won't even say nothing.
And did you see that the man that Diddy has to run the school has described teachers' unions as cockroaches?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a man after my own heart. I wholeheartedly agree.
Sometimes I let other people speak for themselves. Sometimes it's just better not to even comment. You just let that comment sit there and simmer.
I mean, in D.C., they tried to bring accountability here when it came to the raises. And the teachers wanted to keep their raises for seniority, but the schools were doing horrible. And again, when the mayor wanted to level things off and make it performance-based, they carried on for years about how horrible it was. How dare I get paid based on how my students are doing? Oh, that's an insult that I be held accountable for my job.
Because it's not based on that, JaVonni. You should be able to look in their eyes and tell that they're succeeding. You can't measure it with a test. It has to be that look in their eyes.
I hate you for that. I really do.
All right, what's next?
All right, speaking of Black Lives Matter, a 24-year-old black man in Manhattan was just sentenced to a whopping 24 to 26 years in a slammer for attempted murder. The judge let him know right before sending him away that Black lives do not matter to Black people with guns. What is your opinion on that?
I'm going progressive. Monkeys shouldn't have guns. Monkeys ain't meant for guns. That's basically what he's saying, because Black lives matter to people with guns. Me being a Black woman with a gun, my life matters. That's why I have a gun, you jackass. But that's is an inappropriate time for it. And you shoot yourself in the foot. I don't know whether this judge is conservative or liberal, progressive, whatever. I don't care. But you shoot yourself in the foot and you give them the ability to say, like, this is what privilege looks like. This is what these people really think of you. They want to lump all of us together. And that's one thing that I'll agree with them on. The stupidity of saying that this is an all Black thing, or this is melded with Black Lives Matter. It's not. This is the point of dumbasses with guns. Most of these people vote for Democrats. If you want to put it in that case, then it's Democrats with guns. If you really want to stop the problem of killing in the Black community, restrict every Democrat from having a gun. And then once you become a Republican, you can have one, because...
Look, and then you have Chicago.
No, I'm just joking about that, but...
I know.
I was only kind of joking. Every single time I get into progressive mode, then my mind isn't meant to be warped by progressivism. So every time I even try to go there, it turns up into some warped ass thought. But that's what progressivism does.
Well, look, I'll say this. I don't know. I don't own a gun. I'm a conservative who doesn't own a gun. Okay, don't shoot me. I did not grow up in that culture. It wasn't. I haven't really been around it, but I 100% support the right to have it. There are parts of D.C. where it should be mandatory to live there and have a gun.
That's the setup now. Now I got to try to get you to the range. So now that's the setup.
I wouldn't advise going there without it.
That's the setup. We're going to have to get you there and teach you about gun safety and gun responsibility.
But I was slightly offended.
No. Hey, see, that's you spreading stereotypes and misconceptions. You are a sane, rational American, and as such, it is not only your duty, but your responsibility to protect yourself, your home. And if you choose to not do that...
Hey, that's what I lift weights for.
Okay, I'm done.
I know it is actually on my to-do list, though, like to have a gun.
There are very few people that shut me up, that actually shut me up in my, like, you have this uncanny ability to do that.
I have actually told people that I have specifically been lifting weights in the event that I needed to whoop someone's ass. And I just have no politically correct or nice, non-profane way of saying that. But the gun would still be a nice compliment to that.
I don't got nothing to say.
I'm a Republican living in a completely liberal
Hey,
area.
JaVonni,
I have to be able to fight just
hands
to
up, don't
survive here
shoot.
politically.
Hands up, don't shoot. Go on before I say something.
Well, you mentioned about banning guns in a completely Democrat area. The crime rate in Chicago this year is 70% higher than what it was last year.
Like I can't. Like if we get on this subject, then it's like the rest of this segment is gonna be about this subject because I'm not gonna be able to stop. And it's like
I know I like egging you on. Okay, that was a little instigating.
I know you do, but what I'll do is, how about this? We'll make it a point maybe next week that we'll cover all Chicago stories.
All right, now while you were shouting death to progressivism, in Florida, I love this one. A man was seen standing outside on a corner holding a sign saying death to America. The other side said because of Obama's policies. A woman pulls up beside him and shouts, "Why don't you leave America?" His response, "Give me some money." Long story short, the two people in the car asked for the sign. He refused to give it. And this became a segment of what was that? World Star Hip Hop for White America is what I like to call it. I love when there are fight videos that actually do not involve black people for a change. The way that I saw it, okay, you can stand outside and have your free speech. But see, this is why we don't have sedition laws in America. As in other places where you get thrown in jail for saying something about about your country or possibly beat up, we have citizens who are more than happy to do it for the government.
This is how I feel about the word nigga, right? Like, you have people that's like, why is that fair? Like, okay, you can say it. Just understand that there's consequences. So you say it and you around the wrong person and they rearrange your face. It was your right to say it, but I'm not going to run away and not watch the fight as they beat the hell out of you for saying it.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what I lift weights for. Again.
But look, this is it. They really think that you could just come to America, stand out on American street, that we get up, go to work every day, pay taxes for all of these streets, all of these comforts, all of these wonderful advantages you get just from being in America, whether you're born here or not. The simple fact that you're here is a fucking privilege. And you say death to America. And not only do you say it quietly, but you want to take a sign and put it like you get what you deserve. This is why I could never be a police officer. See, because they would have called me to the scene and I would have saw what happened and I would have got back in my squad car and drove off.
Well, I would have gone inside, gotten a donut, watched the scene, and then pulled off.
I would have been smart enough not to shake the dude's hand and said, "Thank you for beating his ass." I would have been smart enough not to say that, but I would have been thinking it. And I would have got back in the police car and drove the hell off. And be like, that's America. America!
He deserved it.
That's how you handle it. And guess what? Neither one of them get jail time. Both of them got their freedom of speech, and we got to see a good fight. It's a win-win-win-win situation.
So the response, which was him having his ass beat, was that action? Does that constitute freedom of speech? Like, this is how I'm responding. This is my speech. I'm showing you how I feel through my fist.
No. Your freedom of speech stops at somebody else's nose. That's always the case. I'm a firm believer in that. Like, you can have it up until the point you touch my nose. And the minute you touch my nose, you know what I'm saying? Any of your freedoms is restricted because you start fucking with mine. So that's why I lift weights, JaVonni. So what?
Oh.
No,
all right, we need to have a...
No, I don't lift no weights. I was lying.
Okay. I was going to say, we need to have a comparison now.
Bullets move faster than fists.
That is true. I know. I'm learning that. That's why you need to get me to the range, Miss Johnson.
Yeah, you think, all right, we're going to do that. All right, come on, let's jump on.
So, the PC police has pronounced rapper Iggy Azalea's career as dead last year after refusing to take the side of Black Lives Matter. Such a shame. But at least she had her upcoming marriage to NBA player and fiance Nick Young to look forward to. up until he got caught on camera bragging about sleeping with 19-year-old girls. Sonnie, I believe you're married. How do you handle a situation like that? What is the appropriate response? You're getting married, and you catch your fiance on camera talking about being with other women. I'm just curious how the gun-toting Sonnie Johnson would take care of that.
Personally, I don't have that. I've never had that concern. So I could never tell you how I would personally react. Because luckily, I got a good man. Okay, so I've never been cheated on. I don't know what this experience is like.
I feel like you're saying this like holding your gun, like a gun on your side. No.
No, I don't. I would be that way if I had ever been given a case to be that way. But I'm gonna big up my dude on this one. He a good dude, so I don't have to worry about that. But I will say this. I look at it like this is freedom. Okay, so now Iggy has a choice. Mind you, none of this is my damn business, so my opinion shouldn't really matter. But Iggy got a choice. Iggy, do you want to be broke or do you want to have some money? And basically, that's your fucking choice because hip hop is done with you. I mean, I'm not like one of them people that's like, oh, you white, you shouldn't be. No, you suck. That's why you shouldn't be in the, that's why you shouldn't be in the industry. Like if you was hot, Eminem deserves his place where he at because he's hot. You're not. So you don't deserve that place. Sooner or later, your fad will run out. And I think that that's the place that she's at. Now, the point is, do you know your dude? Was he bragging on some shit that he not doing to try to make himself look good? Do you know he doing it and you don't give a fuck, but now it's different because now the world knows it? Or are you that type of broad that's like, I really don't care what he do as long as he come home to me? Hey, yo, that was Snoop Dogg's wife. And you would think, well, you can't have respect for a person like that. Snoop Dogg's wife changed my entire opinion on the subject because I was watching her reality show and she was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Give up my house, give up my life, give up the shit that I've built for 20 years because he want to sleep with a piece of trash and then he discards the trash. He don't never try to bring the trash home. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I had never thought about it like that. I would never see myself in that position. But hearing her talk about it, I was like, I understand that. And it would be like the same benefit of the doubt that I get at Hillary Clinton.
Life decisions should not be based on emotion. The same thing with your choice and who you vote for or party as well. The reason why I get asked, how do I vote the way that I do? Oh, Republicans don't. I have an aunt who tells me this every time I get in her car, every time I go in her house. She doesn't even have an argument with me. It's like, Republicans don't like gays. Well, even if that's the case, I don't care. I'm not 12 years old. I don't care about who does and does not like me. Why is this supposed to be an issue?
Stop being a grown up. Digress, little boy.
Stop being a grown. I mean, and with her, she is a grown woman. She's built a life and whatnot. And yeah, so the person you want to, if you want to uproot everything and carry on a good 3-year battle in court and all over indiscretion like that, that's on you.
Yeah, and that's their case. Look, this is something I stretch across the board because, like, I said the same thing with Ray Rice's wife. You know what I'm saying? If she think that the money and the prestige and the fame is worth getting her face punched in, then shut the hell up. It's not my business.
I think you had me afraid to go on Twitter to discuss that. I think I saw a few tweets of yours. I said, well, I'm done with that topic.
Look, no, seriously. Like, I've had women who tell me, like, it's not love if he doesn't. And, like, I'm looking at this bitch like, oh, you done lost your whole mind. But I can also see that she actually means that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna follow that standard. But what I say is I love you through it. And even if I can't understand it, and even if it will never be me, I love you through it. So whatever, Iggy, I can't love you through hip hop. You suck. I can't love you through that. But whatever decision you make as far as your relationship go, as a woman, I love you through it.
Sonny, I feel sorry for him, kind of, for doing this. I mean, it was a very stupid move. You have a famous, your fiance is famous, okay? And whether you knew you were being recorded or not, if you're cheating, okay, you shouldn't be bragging to begin with. Like, that's just supposed to be your little thing to get through whatever is going on. So you shouldn't be bragging. But what did I expect? This is coming from a man who said that he has a house full of shoes. Like, he specifically has a house which sole purpose is for shoes with a paid security guard. So, I mean, that doesn't seem very bright, so I didn't really expect his personal life decisions to be much better.
Well, maybe the question is maybe she needs to bail before she realizes he has no money. So maybe all his money is tied up in his sneaker investments, and she need to bail while she got to, hey, to each his own. All right, let's finish this up. We're running out of time. Let's go.
Gene Simmons, remember the rock band Kiss? Well, the front runner has come out in support of Donald Trump, saying that he's good for the political system. What I love about Gene is that just as Donald Trump let America know that size matters when it comes to his hands, just look at Mr. Simmons and that tongue. It looks like the two of them might have something in common.
Okay, well, I'll counter check you on this one. Okay, slut walk champion Amber Rose says that she's going to flee the United States if Trump is the nominee or Trump gets elected. Okay, so on one side, I can decide to stand with Gene Simmons and the incredibly long tongue, or I can choose Amber Rose and the slut walk. Political decisions, JaVonni. These are political decisions, man.
I want him to be elected so that she can leave the country. Please. Please go. Bon voyage.
And Whoopi said she would go, and Roseanne Barr said she would go. Like, elected Donald Trump will, like, rid us of, like, the top mouthpieces in the progressive movement. Except they're lying, and they know that this is the greatest country on the face of the fucking earth, and they're not going anywhere because no other country will afford them the lifestyle and quality of life that they get in the United States of America.
It'll make our jobs easier.
Nobody cares about them in America. That's why every progressive outlet they try to open fails. Everything fails. Everything that a progressive touches, it just fails. And then they say it's not fair. No, it's not that it's not fair. It's that you fucking suck. Your ideology sucks. The way you make people feel sucks. The outcome of your progressive policies suck. And we see the fucking proof of it. That's why we don't want to listen to you. I ain't too keen on listening to Gene Simmons either, though.
As long as he does his endorsement while extending the tongue, I think that he might help. That might work.
He has Gene Simmons and Omarosa. Woohoo!
They need to put her on The View to fight with Whoopi.
I think they had her on, and it didn't go well. Like, look, people think I'm abrasive. The thing about Omarosa is, like, she's Donald Trump abrasive. Like, she's abrasive without the facts.
But she does it smoothly with a smile on her face. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't got no problem picking on strong people. Like, weak people, I like, no, I ain't gonna do that. But Omarosa, I'm like, she'll punch back, so I ain't got no problem taking shots at her, right?
You don't know what hits you when she gets you.
I ain't got no problem with that. I think she'll punch back. I like people like that. We're gonna have to go because we are at the time limit. Like I said, next week, 3 political stories, all of them out of Chicago. We're gonna cover Chirac.
It's time for another Sonnyism. Democrats want to be the party of the poor. In order to do that, they have to keep you poor. Here, once again, is Sonnie Johnson.
Next podcast, I'm going to start introducing you to some of my favorite people with a little game of 20 questions. And I'm so excited about that because, like, I'm a people person at heart. So I like to bring you some of my people that inspire me, the people that get me moving, the people that get me motivated. So I'm looking forward